One.
Request of Deata Rhodes to address council regarding HIV prevention for community members.
Deata, come on up.
My name is Deata Rhodes, Portland, Oregon.
Teresa Dulce, Portland, Oregon.
I'm Michelle Kyle, Portland, Oregon.
My name is Sarah Short, Portland, Oregon.
You take a deep breath. Existential threat deflation is the thing. It's inherent in the Koch 1% master narrative official story, hegemon, history, hagiography. And it's streaming live as we speak. Black Elk speaks of the breaking of sacred hoops, and of crazy horses dream of greasy grass and its aftermath. And Mr. Bigley says, listen up, I'm gonna grab pussy. Stream live. Third wife, evangelically. Haters hate. Us 36 understand. You do you. That's all you can do, really. On a pentachromatic scale, the saturation and hue and luminosity. Iambic pentameter is the thing, and the saturation is red. The color of penetrating the pain and the panic, the grief and the grit, the fear and the feng shui, the rage and the regret, the shame and the stuppen. You take a deep breath posthumously. You wonder the Bo Sox lost 5-3. Casey struck out with the bases loaded, or so I'm told. We have a red future in the red zone. 6 degrees C is 666, 6 sigma. Navy SEAL Team 6 says it so. It's a special op. You do the numbers, or the numbers do you in. That's job number 1. You take a deep breath. You can't make this shit up. It's Trump time. The nightmare continues. What it would have been if Hillary got elected, it would have been like Tweedledee, like Twinkie Defense, like Twilight Zone, like Trump Towers, like Building 7 falling down all by itself onto Dealey Place. You take a deep breath. You remember what you forgot in your senior moments. 2-ply, 4-play, with 6 degrees of separation on the 8-fold origami path. It's 1491, and we're all natives now. Undocumented to be sure. and living on the coast, soon to be inundated and undulated, ubiquitously. It's a global Gaian epiphenomenon of the cryosphere collapsing like it is. Larson C. ABCdarians is who we are. Us 36, the Lamadvovniks. What you're likely to get as self-knowledge is bittersweet. Sweet in the insight, bitter in the hypocrisy that lies dark in your shadow. We're all there. We all have a Trump in us. And it's ugly, and it scares you. You take a deep breath. Welcome to the word world, bird by bird. Georgie, what happened? A pinka, no doubt. You somatize your pseudonyms, and eponymously you become yourself. Once names are named, mistakes are made. You take a deep breath. The anecdata nails it for you. And the lexicography of Yibonish, it teaches you tolerance. Teaches you how to tolerate the pressure, but no pressure. It's the G-spot in the comfort zone without reservation. Listeners, observe. This is what's going on. This here now. Enlightenment is the antidote to extension of the extinction, threat, deflation. Extinction 2112 is coming up with 2020 hypo hindsight. Why wouldn't it? If you do the climate numbers, and if you're not a climate Scientologist or creationist or fascist phallicist, you take a deep breath. All in all, you got all the time in the world, comadres, compadres. You got your work cut out for you. Good job. You're practicing intention and intuition. I re-TPP. You take a deep breath. It's the end of the road. It's the final solution. It's the feng shui that you love most. You can do mostly moist stuff, and it's a must-see. You will be missed in my muscle memory. Inside you, babe, is copacetic when you get it up. But by then, my spandex superpower will have been werewolved and warehoused. You take a deep breath. Grateful is the G-spot, the center of gravity for the synesthetic singularity. Pennies drop. You drop a dime and it reverberates, revitalizes the mental multiverse with mushroom clouds, and it's all smoke and guns and mirrors. Here at Hamlin, at the Buddhist, Baptist, Alzheimer's, Asperger's, home for the homeless and the hospiceless. The counterpose is in the counter-future, and the forenso-fascism is what we're after. What does it matter? What's big and what's little will have been obvious later. It will have seemed to have been existential threat deflation. Because we got all the tools. We got all the tools to save ourselves. But in the Coke 1% master narrative official story counter-future, we can't save ourselves. The water's on the table, but we can't wake up from the America First dream. And us 36, we understand the inner breath and its witnessence. The great-great-grandchildren, even of the 1%, will be stillborn. It's a lose-lose game they're playing. Not even zero-sum, straight up lose-lose. And I'll be your straight man. Schwarze, please. Habibi, beschert. Who is like the rest of us? The rest is noise and white nose and white noise and burnt up ashes to ashe, ago, deep breath, Santeria. You wonder about the veneration of the vagina vessel. It's a Jungian anima and animus, and it's animated and reanimated, and it's a plus-size paradigm, outsized for Ausländer. And the meta consequences are stark and smeared on the Planck brain. Even at the quantum level, there's a quantum leap of lumpen that we just don't get. You can't make this shit up. The mores are more and more, bigger and bigger, bigly. You take a deep breath. It's more and more mercerized and lacking all moral compass. The Coke 1% caca, karma, is harsh. It's harsh in my mellow. And it's a lose-lose. Coke 1%, master narrative, official story. And 100% of us eukaryotic, semi-sapient sentience will bite the dust by extinction 2112. And it's peripersonal and pluripotent, but it's not personal. Anatta, anicca, and dukkha are the rules, the laws in Order 17, business as usual blowback that pervades and permeates the prodrome to the elliptogenic, euthanasogenic, eugenics, the eusocial super orgasm is upon us, more and more, bigger and bigly. Deep breath. The great decimation dematerializes the ghost species. We're dead men walking. We're circling around the stupa. And us 36, the Lamed-Vavniks, we're practicing intention and intuition and Galgan humor. Dayenu, die, yenu. To die for. We're speaking Yibanish, because there's only one language that's the Mamaloshan of Menschlichkeit, the rapture of Rahmanis, the mainstreaming of Metta. You take a deep breath. The Ouija board is your eulogy, and dark energy and positrons cancel each other out. And at a quantum level, it's mostly dark energy and dark matter. And you wonder, can I do this? Do I have the feng shui and the kundalini to get through the day right? Other things being equal. I can do this, you say to yourself. Knowing all the while that you don't know what's going to happen when David Price pitches. There's a certain inflammation to the elbow that kind of takes over. And you take a deep breath. You wonder about being in this old and breaking body, mind, frame, and the flutes transport you, transpose you to the synesthetic syzygy that is singularity. Mistakes are made, it's true. But us 36, we know what Nisargadatta say. It's all perfect, perfectly pitched paradigms. You don't have to do nothing except see the truth straight up and say it bird by bird. You take a deep breath. Dans l'esprit, d'escalier. Forensically, it will have been obvious that Trump time was the seed syllable for the Twinkie defense, and Jeff Sessions, in session. And there's a certain fecal fascist note to the future feng shui in the Coke 1% master narrative official story. And it smells like silly putty and a little smutty. And the pussy grabber has the G-men grabbing the G-spot of Gaia and doing the FGM. You lubricate the levels forensically. 'Cause what else can you do if you're one of us telling breathtaking truth to BFFs forever? And Gaia's pussy galore, pussy riot. Us 36 venerate vessel, vagina, vajra no less. Animus and anima are equal sequels. You take a deep breath. Us 36 worship God as straight men, as abbots to Lou Costello, as Dean Martins to Jerry Lewis, as George to Gracie, as Lucy to Little Ricky, and Dickie Tricky, and Dr. Strangelove to Condoleezza Rice. Trump cheapens truth. But so what if Billy Bush and he be talking about pussy grabbing? You wonder, he's the chief. And if he says nuke up North Korea, well then what? It's just locker room talk, he say. Did he cheat on Marla Maples? You sure he did. And was it with her that he had Ivanka? Oh, the next one. And DJ and Jared the Jihadi Kushite Cock-a-doodle-doo. Howdy doody, Princess Summer, Fall, Winter, Spring. Yes, sirree, Bob. Phineas T. Bluster. The pheromones fly. The CRISPR cashes in. And us 36, we're Bostrom, strong AI. You take a deep breath. Gaza is Guernica, ongoing. And we're taking a haircut at the hairpin turn in the Holocene. And the Holocide is happening. It's transposing itself to the transliterated, trans-tweet. You take a deep breath. Neti, neti, gate. Enlightenment is the antidote. Existential threat deflation is democracy's deflategate. And he did it. Tom did it. Belichick and Brady didn't face the blowback, but he did it. And who would blame him for Watergate or Deflategate or Tricky Dick? You take a deep breath and you start mansplaining the dick-driven democracy that we got. You take a deep breath. Worshiping God S. It starts there with the seed syllables on the sliding scales of the slippery slopes. You lubricate labia labelly. You label your pseudonyms eponymously. And you wonder, can I do this? Can I look straight in the face of all this unnecessary suffering? Existential threat deflation is the holocide. Janus faced, jihadi driven, Juju Jared, Kushite is kaka karma. You take the macaca mainstream, more and more, bigger and bigly. The blowback blasphemes you. And the blast radius, can you feel it? The spent fuel pool and the zirconium cladding. You wonder, can